fucked it up.
Welcome to another episode of Velocity Chaos!
Coming to you at the speed of sound, we are on the air at the Hexapod Sound House in Cleveland, Ohio. My name is Nick. Welcome to the 64th episode of the Velocity Chaos podcast. I am joined by the illustrious Locked Luke.
Well, hello there. My name is Luke, and we are joined by the one, the only DJ Slip and Slide. How you doing?
Doing real good. Thanks for having me out this week, boys.
Oh, of course. Nick, what do we got on the show today?
We are going to crack through What Do You Think It Means segment. We are also going to do a deep dive hosted by Luke himself. Get really down in there. Get in there. And then we're going to go down, take a stroll down memory lane into nostalgia, where Luke's going to cover some of his favorite. I'm not even going to spoil it for you. It's just going to be something that'll definitely bring back the feels for a lot of us, and it will be amazing. Just a reminder to our returning listeners and a note for our new friends here at the Velocity Chaos podcast. We explore the highest heights of human knowledge and the lowest depths of crude humor. Our mission is to tickle that pink thing between your ears, poke that frontal lobe, or sometimes just smash the laugh box. So hop in and buckle up for an infotainment ride across the airwaves.
But before we get into all of that stuff, just a reminder, follow us on Instagram at Velocity Chaos Pod and on Facebook. Go on the YouTube and be like, hey, I'm subscribing. I'm watching these videos live. And hopefully soon we get some of those things they called shorties on there, because we're cool. We're hip. We're with it.
Yeah.
And why don't you subscribe, please, on your podcast platform of choice. It helps us out so much when we look at the metrics. And we just want to thank each and every one of you for your support, as always. Thank you.
All right. Before we get into it too fast, we are going to do a Make the Connection. This is a warm-up that we'd like to do at the top of the show to get everybody's creative juices flowing. Feel free, all of our listeners out there, all of our watchers out there, feel free to jump in and just giggle along with us. Shout out words in your car or in the hospital or the court of law, wherever you might be today listening to the Velocity Chaos podcast. Feel free to join in this segment. So DJ Slip and Slide is going to give us two words, and we are essentially going to do word association to get from one to the other.
All right, guys. I think we're going to start with Stevie Nicks, and we're going to make the connection to duct tape.
Interesting.
Stevie Nicks.
Singer.
A microphone.
Equipment.
Lacrosse.
Field.
Dreams.
Sleep.
Beds.
Foreplay.
Cunnilingus.
Handcuffs.
Police.
Arrest.
Robbers. I don't know why. My eyebrows went up on robbers. Robbers.
Thieves.
Hostages.
What's the word I'm looking for? I'll just say confinement. Detainment. That's the one. Thank you.
Duct tape.
Hey, yeah, all right. Yeah, that was the word.
Yeah.
Did you say cunnilingus?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did, man. Foreplay, bro. Come on.
Remember you talking about scuba diving in one episode?
Scuba diving. This is we'll get to For the Ladies episode down the line. That'll come back in a big way. But we're going to pivot over to another segment called What Do You Think It Means, where we break down the etymology of a word. I also test these guys to see if they know what it means. I know we got some big Catholics in the house. Just kidding. I know you guys don't go to
I was confirmed.
I was confirmed at one time. I know what a priest looks
All
like.
of you who have been baptized into Christ. I know a few bangers.
Can you get a little reverb on that?
Yeah, I wish.
But no, we are going to talk about. I gave you a hint, too much of a hint on this one.
Yes.
I kind of ruined it.
Or did you?
Did I?
You overestimate my ability to take hints.
To pay attention.
He's leading us down the path of lack of righteousness.
All right. So the word we are going to break down today, it is a word I never heard before. I saw it in an email the other day, and in a business email, and I was like, whoa.
Give me a second. I got to bust out the thesaurus.
Wrote down, do not play Scrabble with this person. The word is hagiography.
Hagiography. So
You got to admit if you know what it means.
yeah, no,
You know what it means?
Yeah, of course. It's so graphy is some sort of script,
Okay.
and then hagi is those are like sub sandwiches. So it's like the art of making words or messages with hoagies, and it's like when your mom packs your lunch and she writes a message in there. That's hagiography.
Or like if you get stranded on a desert island,
Yeah.
and you were in a plane full of hoagies, and like you're writing SOS with hoagies, like that's
Yeah.
hagiography.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're wrong.
Naturally.
Well, it's definitely not the hoagie part that's wrong. So it's clearly because graphy comes from the word geography. So you make maps with hoagies.
Oh,
This is come on.
Like when you're watching the movie and it's
Yeah.
like the little figures like trooping, it's like you're laying out hoagies behind somebody
Yeah.
who's like walking.
it's the bread trail.
Yeah, it's a bread trail.
Yeah, Hansel and Gretel laid out a bunch of hoagies to find the way.
Hansel and Gretel.
Hoagie crumbs.
Hagiography. All right. So you guys are both wrong. It was definitely the hoagie part of it that you were getting wrong.
Oh, I thought that was the right
I
part.
thought that was the right half of this thing. No, so the
Oh,
word
haggy, not hoagie. Oh,
I want to
yeah, I was
read
just
it.
about to spell it for you. Hagiography.
witches. It's about witches.
Hags and witches.
Yeah.
Any other guesses? Hags.
That one.
It's about hoagies.
I'm sticking to my guns. Well, you're wrong. No, but I'm sticking to my guns.
I'll stay.
I'll
Sir, you have a 7. or you have 5s. I also like to play dangerously.
All right. So the one half of the word you did get right. Luke got this right. Graphy, from French or German for graphy.
Yes. Classic French-German linguistics.
Based on Greek, graphia, which is the description of, used in abstract nouns from graphene, which was to write, express by written characters, and then earlier than that, to draw, represent by lines drawn. So it's originally to scrape or to scratch in clay tablets. So you got that part right about kind of writing, drawing. Graphy is like the making some sort of talisman, paper, stone, clay, whatever. So you got that part right.
Nailed it.
So let's tackle the first part of the word, hagio.
Yeah.
Hagio.
That's you were talking about religion. This has to go back to some kind of Harry Potter spell. Hagio. Pen. I don't know. What's what they say.
Hagio. Oh, look,
Hagio pen graphiatus.
Yeah.
my pen just filled with ink. Great. Close. That'd be cool. Actually, I don't. No, this would not be a good Harry Potter spell. I do like when we stumble across those. Anyway, let's go back, way back. This is an ancient word.
Oh.
Or partially an ancient word. Old Persian.
Oh, the Persians.
We don't-
Prussia.
Way back. We don't typically get that far back in our What Do You Think It Means segment. So I was kind of happy to discover this. The root word sounds nothing like it. Iodana.
Yep. No, it's lies.
Iodonography, which means temple.
Okay, so this is iodonography. This is like people from Brooklyn calling Capicola gabagool. It's not,
New
not
York
the same.
Jews.
Yeah. Gabagool.
They'll
You
go
know.
to temple on a
look
Shabbat, and clearly not.
Yeah,
Jewish. I don't know.
Hagio.
Shabbat. Just saying random words that I think are.
So temple scribing.
We don't roll on the Shabbat, Donnie. That's all I know about Jewish people, which is terrible. Anyway, okay. So temple. Any other guesses? Any
Temple
updated
scribing.
guesses?
The art
Temple
of
scribing. Just
writing
drawing on the wall
temples.
in the pews. Just
Graffiti.
Temple. God,
No,
temple
it's still-
graffiti.
yeah.
Scratch it by name in the pew. No, that would be funny if that was a real word like this, but it's not. I'm going to give you another hint. We're going to upgrade it a little bit more. This is from Greek, agnos, which is chaste, or Sanskrit, which is also an ancient language for Yahati, I think, which is like
I'm very familiar, yeah.
reveres with sacrifices and worships. That's the definition of Yahati.
Huh.
Or Yajati, I don't know.
Yeah. Whatever it might. So this is the art
Sanskrit.
of writing down people's deaths.
Whoa, he's getting close. You're actually getting close. I'm not screwing around with you.
I'm gonna let him take this one.
Oh,
I'm still hung up on the hoagie bit.
I'm just looking at this weird brain formulation blob right here in the lava lamp.
You'll see it on our video on our YouTube.
You
Our
caught us, dude.
our lava lamp,
Sorry for all you listeners.
our Velocity Chaos lava lamp is having a braingasm right now.
Yeah, this is the raising of the dead of the lava lamp.
What is that Teenage Mutant Ninja
Right.
Turtle villain?
Oh,
Krang?
right. Krang, yeah.
Krang.
Wait,
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so hit me with the last piece again. So it's
I said it was.
you said it was about.
He
death.
said, yeah,
Writing about people's deaths,
yeah.
which is closer. It's not full, but it's closer.
And what was the last hint that you gave him? It was
Temple from Old Persian.
No, it was one step further about
So
people
we were
dying.
Old Persian. Now the layer above that is to worship in reverence, which is like based on Old Greek of agnos, which is chaste, and Sanskrit, which is yajati, which is to revere with sacrifices or worship.
oh, this is like those people that in the court of law, they're the typists.
Oh,
Taking it
stenographers.
down, stenographer. This is just an
We're
old
helping
school
each other.
stenographer.
This is writing about
DJ Slipenside
stenographers.
and myself, we're just helping words.
These are just obituaries for stenographers.
Yeah, this is ancient obituaries when they're doing
All right,
sacrificing goats.
I'm going to upgrade it a little more, get a little closer, because we're going to put an H back into this word, get there. So from Greek, hagios, or hagios,
Mhm.
sacred, devoted to the gods, holy, pure, of persons. Do you want one more hint? This
I
is
don't know.
probably going to bust it all open.
You overestimate my ability.
In ecclesiastical Greek, which, wow, how about that word for scrambled?
Ecclesiastic.
Yeah. it's-
Ecclesiastical Greek.
Also, again, you overestimate my ability to understand a multiple syllabled word.
A saint.
So the art of writing a biography for a saint.
That's it.
Is
That's
it?
actually it. We had, I had one
You're
more.
kidding
I had
me.
one more step for you, but I will just skip to it. Hagi is a word forming element meaning of a saint or saintly, holy. So hagiography. I can't think of another way of pronouncing it. I think that's it. Hagiography is the sacred writing, especially of saints' lives. This comes in about 1821, started to be used, is still commonly used today as a reference to holy texts about the lives and deaths of saints. So that's where I was saying, like, you were getting close with about writing about people's deaths. Like, oftentimes, Merriam-Webster's also just, writes it as idealizing or idolizing biography. So this is an adulatory writing of, in most common cases, of a saint.
Wow.
So it's like, oh, like St. Luke was so badass. Like he was a badass. Like we love St. Luke because he was a badass. Like that would be the opening stanza of my hagiography of you.
Of me. What does it require? Candidate, what requirements do I got to hit? I got to live a life of holiness, pureness, kindness, and devotion.
Well, you got to be canonized. Yeah. So
Yeah.
you got to do something really cool.
In life and after death. Don't people have to witness you twice or three times after death?
Yeah. I think that's true. Yeah.
Dang.
They got to see you.
I'll make it happen.
I'll come back and haunt you guys.
That is awesome. Is it? So writing about people. Oh, that's tough. Like, because you got to leave a journal behind, like, or is this all like word of mouth?
So two things. One, I've been learning about, like, I have a couple of Catholic friends who are pretty devout, and it's interesting how much writing still goes on today of like people considering the works of certain other people, like Saint Jose Maria, who started the Opus Dei portion of the Catholic Church. So like they will write, things about Saint Jose Maria, like his words impacting their life, and their writing is the word adulatory being like, oh, like Jose Maria, like in my prayers, he inspired me to do this, or he, spoke to me through this passage or whatever. So that's the first part of it, of like, people writing even today about these people, but it also is now more commonly used as like, in this case, it was somebody describing a documentary that was just really like pro the subject. Like they were very much like, this subject's amazing. So he was using it as this hagiography is like, this feels borderline hagiography, which is like, he was saying the filmmaker was just like, my subject is the best thing that ever happened without any of the flaws.
Since a piece of sliced bread.
Yeah. So in the modern times, we're using it outside of like Catholicism and the sainthood, and just really saying any type of written or any type of media that is like, so just like, oh.
So you're saying Francis Scott Key was doing some hagiography about Jose Maria. He's saying, Jose, can you see? And then so
yeah, that's probably one of the most iconic hagiographies of all time. Yeah, that's it.
Nailed it.
Got
it. I get them right every once in a while.
So that was a fun one. That was something nice to learn. I had a good time. The more you read, the more you get to learn stuff. You expand your vocabulary. Or if you don't like reading, you can just listen to the Velocity Chaos podcast. But I do recommend reading because you never know what kind of good story you'd come up with. And you know what else is a brilliant story? Book. Yes, book. Book has so many wonderful characters, so many wonderful themes, so many wonderful moments, so many wonderful words. Book takes you on a wild journey of experiences that so many people can relate to. Reading Book will open your eyes to so many life events of the main character and all of the main character's eccentric and unique associates. Book is a real page turner, and take it from me, someone who can't read good, reading Book was really something. It was quite the magical experience, if you will. If you want to get your hands on Book, go to the website and use the code VCPOD20 at checkout for your first 20 pages of Book free when you purchase Book. If you don't use code VCPOD20, then they will rip out the first 20 pages before they send you Book. Just use the code. This is not an actual product service idea, just in case you thought it was. It is not. If there is something out there with the same name, we are unaware and have no affiliation, offer no judgment on the actual product, service, or idea.
Bam, bingo, boom. Let's get our scuba gear on, our tanks. We're deep diving.
Scuba.
Scuba gear.
Scuba gearing.
Going scuba.
So
diving.
So I've been, for a long time, Jim Croce, he's my number one artist of all time.
Oh, nice.
So a lot of times, especially in the fall, autumnal season, I'll pop on the Jim Croce radio on Spotify. But this last week, I was like, let me feel the Jim, like Jim Croce radio. I popped it on, and I hear this song, and I'm like, I like that song. Like I've heard it before, but I didn't know. It's like, oh, who's this? Traveling Wilburys. Oh, they're cool. Let me. And later in the day, I looked them up. But I've heard their songs.
Sure.
Like I've because it's come up in the past where I'll look at my phone. Most of the time I'm just like. I don't look at the phone, but occasionally I'll check who sings it. And okay, I remember checking years ago.
Yeah.
Anyhow, let me get to it. I didn't realize they were a supergroup. That's the deep dive I want to get in today is supergroups.
I'm with you.
Yeah. I don't know how much you know about the Traveling Wilburys.
Almost nothing.
Okay. Good.
This will be
But if
fun.
they're tight with Jim Croce, they must be rad.
I guess it's a similar genre as late great Alex Trebek would say. So good. I wanted to play a little game.
Game. I love games. I love music and I love games.
Yes.
I like games.
I like it. We'll play it. Put it right here for you. You can play it later if you want. So, looked at the band name and it was unfamiliar, but then I did some digging and because I was like, oh my God, is that Lefty Wilbury singing that part? Is that Otis Wilbury singing that? Like, And it's like, yeah, it's the Traveling Wilburys. Of course, that's going to be those people. So those aren't their real names, but there's Otis Wilbury, Lefty Wilbury, Nelson Wilbury, Lucky Wilbury, and Charlie T. Jr.
Charlie T. got the short end of the stick.
I'm guessing it's Charlie T. Jr. Wilbury, but
Yeah.
But so I was listening to it and I heard iconic voice. I think they're all iconic voices. So I'm gonna go with see if you guys might be familiar with who they are.
Oh, geez.
By me giving you hints, since we played a hint game with your etymology.
Just looking at one of the pictures, I know one of them.
Oh my God, you're looking at the picture.
Sorry. It's only one of them. Okay, go ahead.
So the first, I did recognize Charlie T. Jr. from, he has a song called Free Fallin'.
That's the guy I recognize.
And I'm free.
Yeah.
Free.
Yeah. You know who that one is?
Oh my God.
It's got to be the Wilburys.
Yep.
No. It's Tom Petty.
Yep. Charlie T. Jr.
Jeez.
Tom Petty in the Traveling Wilburys.
Wow. Okay.
And you know who he co-wrote that song with, Free Fallin', or like recorded it with?
No.
He did that one with Otis Wilbury.
Otis Wilbury.
No kidding.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on. But before we go any farther, what
Yes.
defines a supergroup?
So supergroup, I would say, would have to be, people that have been successful by themselves or in their own bands or,
Sure.
elsewhere, or not even bands, because I do want to expand this discussion to, possibly other genres or places of
Media.
of media.
Other
Yeah.
media.
So I feel like it would have to be, people that have been successful and then broken away from their success and come together with other successful people.
Oh, okay.
So that's
Okay.
what I would say.
Got it.
So Otis Wilbury, ELO, Electric Light Orchestra.
Oh, wow.
So
Wow.
that one I feel like he'd be less familiar of a household name.
I don't know the name, but I know ELO.
Yeah.
Everyone knows it.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah,
I went through and listened to all these, like, they're individual, except for one of them. But like most, like, I listened, like, oh my God, he did this song and this song, and this, of course he's iconic.
Yeah.
Jeff Lynne from ELO.
Okay. Wow.
So they were a British rock group.
Yeah. Is he the lead singer of ELO?
Yeah,
Oh,
I
wow.
think he was like the creative force and everything.
Okay. Wow. Wow.
One of the main guys. So, we'll go with. So they were. So Tom Petty, Charlie T. Jr. and Jeff Lynne. They had this song that they just recorded, and this guy's house that they were going to. One of the best lyricists ever.
Andre 3000.
Yes, Andre 3000.
Yes.
Oh, man.
That's wrong.
It's half true.
Half true. You got to think back to the 70s, 80s lyricists, great lyricists of the time.
Bob Dylan.
Bob Dylan.
Whoa.
Bob Dylan, Lucky Wilbury.
Whoa. Lucky.
So you got three right here. If you said there was a
Holy cow.
band of Tom Petty, Jeff Lynne, and Bob Dylan, I'm like, hell yeah, let me listen to that.
Yeah. Just
They
those
all went,
three.
They all went by Wilbur.
Yeah.
That's smart. That's cool.
Yeah. So there's one other. I'm not sure if you guys are going to get this one. He is an iconic voice.
Yeah.
But what is the song? Pretty Woman. Pretty Woman.
Oh, yeah.
Walking down the street.
Yeah, you know who that is?
I do.
Carl Perkins.
Nope.
Nope. It's
Johnny Cash.
As soon as you hear it, I knew DJ Slip Inside what might be a little more familiar.
More hints. More hints.
I got to look up real quick. I listened to him.
Wow, dude, that hurts because I used to listen to that all the time. My mom would play that song all the time in the car.
Yeah.
What is it?
That's the only one I can like sing off the top of my head, but I'm gonna give it to you here. Only the Lonely is another one.
Oh.
But it's Roy Orbison.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he is.
Sakes.
Icon.
It's
People-
just that name you can't. pin
Yeah.
it off the top of your
Exactly.
head.
Yeah, he's like you're dancing around, but yeah, unless you hear like that's it. Okay.
Terrible with names.
That's like the roots of rock and roll.
So they have one of the best songwriters of the time, and Roy Orbison's considered one of the best vocalists of the time.
Sure, yeah.
So they have those two, and then the leader of this band who put them all together from a band that he was not one of the front guys. There was
Yeah.
2 other guys in front of him, but he was the lead guitarist.
I know who it is. I guess.
Nope, I'm out.
Yeah, you go for it. Well, his name is, I'll let you, here's a hint, Nelson Wilbury.
Nelson Wilbury.
You know it.
Is it James? Jimmy?
No,
No.
it's
Oh, come on.
You had it when you...
Yeah.
I did have it.
Yeah.
He's the Beatles guitarist.
Yeah. You got it.
Man, this is
You got
dead
4
air.
names.
This is
Throw
dead
it.
air.
Throw out one of the names.
Peter, Paul, Ringo, and
The one.
wait,
The one.
no,
that,
Peter, Paul. What am I saying? Peter, John, Ringo, and
the other guy. Yeah, the other guy is Nelson Wilbury.
Oh my God! I just watched Get Out. Nelson Wilbury. Yeah, Peter, John,
Yeah.
Ringo, and Nelson.
Come on, you got this.
Bro, help me out here, man. Help me out. What are the names? Ringo,
You know I hate the
John,
Beatles.
James,
We were
Bob.
honest.
Dude, this is gonna kill
Yeah.
me. You're gonna just have to.
I'm sorry. All right, here
just
you
tell
know.
me.
I know.
This is
We
sad.
know.
I'm so
this
pissed.
on the point. I couldn't think
Everyone
of
out there is screaming
detainment
right now.
earlier.
They're
You know,
screaming.
we all have our moments. George Harrison.
George.
Yeah. See,
Freaking George.
Jorge.
I could have said and you've
Yeah,
been like,
yeah. Okay. George.
George Harrison,
Ah,
the guy who got them all together.
my least favorite Beatle.
What?
Sorry.
Is that why you hate
And
me?
he was
No, you're Ringo.
I don't know. I don't know.
Okay. All right.
We'll
fair.
We'll see.
I'm Nelson. I'm
I'm more of a Nelson.
more of a Nelson. Awesome. Wow.
But
wow.
yeah.
Supergroup. Holy
Right?
cow.
They have so they released an album, or they got together. George Harrison, like, he heard that I think Tom Petty, Bob Dylan, and Jeff Lynne were all at their recording studio,
Yeah.
and he's like, "Oh, I'll swing by, whatever." And he's like, "Hey, we should do a song or something." And somehow Roy Orbison was in the area, and like he came along too, or he was there, and they're like, "Yeah," because I guess George Harrison was good at uniting people, bringing people together.
Yeah.
And there was like a box with tape on it that said "Handle with Care." So they started like riffing on it, like "Handle Me with Care," and then
Yeah.
they wwrote this song "Handle Me with Care" that that day, just
Wow.
all in this recording studio. And Tom Petty and Jeff Lynne were playing their "Free Fallin'" song, like just because they just recorded it.
Yeah.
They were kind of showing the guys. So they do this song, and then it was like 4.5 weeks later. Like they had to work around, I think it was Bob Dylan's performance schedule,
Yeah.
and he had 10 days where like in between, like there was a little break. So in those, they were like, all right, those 10 days, let's get together, all 5 of us.
Yeah.
They get together each day. They record a song, like write a song, record a song, write a
Whoa.
song, record a song.
Oh my god.
So they did that over that little break, and they released their like first album, Traveling Wilburys, Volume 1.
What?
It is awesome. I recommend
I'll have to listen to it.
listening to that one.
Holy cow.
So they do that, and I don't know if they got to release it, but Roy Orbison, he was sick at the time,
Oh,
and he had passed away like shortly after all of this.
oh wow.
So he has such like, when you hear his voice, like it's like it's almost ghostly in a way, like
Yeah.
with how good it is.
Sure.
And they would do that recording, and they got one of the songs, I think it's "End of the Line," and they just got him to record his part before it was like a couple weeks before he passed away or something along those lines.
Wow.
And even in the music video, like they have like a rocking chair with just a guitar on it, like
Oh, I've seen this music video.
Yeah.
It's almost eerie to watch it.
It
But it's
is.
like it's kind of angelic in that sense. Plus, you have these powerhouses that are
Right?
singing it. I have seen this. Oh my
and
goodness.
it's so good. And they're all talking like, I got a recommendation later on that I'll give out, but they were just talking like it was 2 of the guys are like, "Oh my god!" Like it was like I think it was Tom Petty and Jeff Lynne. They were just talking like, "We have Roy Orbison in our band." Like they were like fangirling or
Yeah.
fanboying over Roy Orbison. It's like,
Yeah.
no, if anyone else is like, "Oh my god, we have Jeff Lynne and Tom Petty in our band."
yeah.
But that's like one
Yeah.
thing they were talking about is like all of them were like, "I want to hear the other guys sing."
Wow.
Like I don't want, but then they meshed it together. It was just really, really good. And then,
Dynamite creativity, just like a perfect moment.
yeah.
And there was something else in the weed back then, man. Everybody, you imagine
Water. He meant water. He meant water in the water.
You imagine just that, just coincidentally, and you know, one of them got them together and was like, "Oh yeah, you just come by. Oh, he happens to be here." But if they were texting, they would have been like, "Yeah, it's just send out text to everybody. Yeah, it's just a coincidence."
I might show up.
Yeah. For sure.
Who else is there?
Calling each other on their rotary phones on the party line.
Yeah.
You know?
Tom Petty's like, "Hey man, who's there?" They're like, "No, that like blah blah blah." Oh, Roy Orbison just showed up. I'll be there. I'll be there. Oh man.
But yeah, that like just hearing that, and like I've heard their songs before, or at least from the album, and I'm like, wow, I like that, but I never looked into it because I thought, okay, I thought that was Tom Petty. Oh, I thought that was a Roy Orbison song, and never realized that was the same. Like it just never clicked in the past until I recently looked it up because that happened the last time I was listening. I was like, oh, hey, that's Tom Petty, but. Is that Roy Orbison singing? That's Bob Dylan. What the? There's something up to these Wilburys.
What is this?
So that's what that like piqued me to look further into it. But that's been my last 2 weeks of.
So like that's
passion.
awesome because like it's what 10 songs now because it was like one every day you said for 10 days.
Something like
That's a great album first
Yeah.
of all, and that's been around for like 30 years.
Yep. Yeah.
Oh.
88.
Oh wow. Oh man,
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to listen to this. I want to deep dive. That.
Yeah. So they did volume 1 of that, and then after Roy passed, they they did another album with just the 4.
Yeah.
Volume 3. So that was their second album.
Wait, what? Really?
The second album.
Just for a
was
joke
volume,
or like to honor Roy? Like he
No,
took the
that's-
second one with him.
That was
But-
yeah.
Really quick, this is how the way Under Pressure happened too.
Is it?
Yeah, like Bowie was like he was going to the studio to record just some like music for a movie I think that he was in or had something to do with, and Queen was recording there. And he just like went over and just like, hey, what's up? Like, let's just hang out. And then they just kept jamming and like figured it out. And the funny thing is like Under Pressure is so stripped back, right? As a song, but it's so crazy because of it. And it's like Bowie and Freddie Mercury, two of the most iconic voices, just like singing. Because they like no one put it together. Like no one's like, hey, like David Bowie, come work with Freddie and all that. Like they're just like, hey, what's up? Knock knock. Who's there?
We're here.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys are recording it.
Yeah.
If I pop in for a second.
That's
While you're here, why don't you
This is why I think like Velocity Chaos needs like a better studio space that like people could just be passing and they're like, hey, what's up? You guys, hey, you want to be on the episode? Like we should do that because right now it'd just be like
just a storefront.
your cat. Yeah.
And we just look out the window
Through
while we're
the
doing
music.
it.
We'll just go do it on the sidewalk in front of like some major record label.
There's a radio
Post Malone
station
shows up. Oh yeah,
That'd be sick.
we're doing it outside. It's experimental. And
downtown. Just like get a big glass, just like recording there. That actually is a cool idea. There's a radio station in York, England. It's a city, and like they have like this whole section that's just them sitting there doing radio all day. And so like people come in and do whatever, they wave. I think it's cool. I think it's a cool idea.
It's like morning news shows.
Good Morning America.
Yeah.
Waving in the background.
How have they never had a flasher on like Good Morning America? You know what I mean? Like how's
The
it?
director's quick on the buttons.
Oh, nice try. Gotcha. Oh man, that's awesome. So you have other supergroups for me?
So I see. I looked at the list, and Traveling Wilburys always was at the top or like second or third according to whoever's list.
That's pretty massive.
Yeah. Cream. I didn't know that was a supergroup. I just thought that was a good band.
Yeah. Hence it being a good band.
Yeah.
Right?
So that's Eric Clapton, Jack Bruce, and Ginger Baker.
Yeah.
Eric Clapton from the Yardbirds. I guess I always thought it was Cream.
Eric Clapton from the Yardbirds, not Eric Clapton from Eric Clapton.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I thought. I'm not sure who Jack Bruce and Ginger Baker necessarily are. It says they're from Graham Bond organization, but
What?
that was the name of GBO. I guess they would call that one instead of ELO. There was another one. I guess Audio Slave was technically a.
Really?
Give me 1 second here. I will look at it in my notes. This is bad. This is bad right now.
I can feel it. I'll feel it.
Yeah.
I found a big mega list. This isn't even ranked. So I'm
Okay.
just going to like call out some of the people that I see on here.
Yeah.
So, okay, you said here, let's do a little music,
Okay.
Ring Around the Rosie, right?
Yeah.
So Cream had Eric Clapton, right?
Yep.
Eric Clapton was in the Yardbirds.
Yep.
Guess who else was also in the Yardbirds that I did not know was in the Yardbirds?
I don't know.
Jimmy Page.
Oh, that's
Wow.
right.
Isn't that crazy? And
That's
Jimmy Page,
right.
so like Led Zeppelin is the Yardbirds, and then like these other bands I don't know. So I wouldn't consider this technically a supergroup. Band of Joy, like Robert Plant and John Bonham were in Band of Joy. I don't know that. So
Yeah.
anyway, Jimmy Page comes from kind of like a supergroup almost into
Yeah.
Led Zeppelin.
And that was the thing. It was like, I would think that, supergroup, you'd have to be super before you got to that band.
Yeah, I
So that's
agree.
why I don't know about like Cream, like how famous Jack Bruce and Ginger Baker or what Bruce and Baker were. Like
Yeah.
before that,
Right,
like they
right,
might
right.
have been extremely talented. Obviously, Cream is great,
Yeah.
but so Audio Slave is Chris Cornell from Soundgarden, Tom Morello, Rage Against the Machines, Tim Comerford from Rage Against the Machines, and Brad Wilk, Rage Against. So Audio Slave is Rage Against the Machines with Chris Cornell as the lead singer.
Wow. yeah.
But he has an amazing voice. Well, had I
Yeah.
suppose.
Yeah. R.I.P. baby.
Yeah.
I have two more. I have
Yeah,
two that I found. Journey.
So are they considered?
So get this
Okay.
though, like
Yeah.
Greg Rowley, Neil Sean in Santana. Okay, so that's pretty
Yeah,
big.
that's big.
pretty
That's rad.
Yeah.
You got Ross Valerie from Steve Miller Band.
Okay.
That's pretty big.
Yeah.
And then you got Prairie Prince from the Tubes. The Tubes is legit.
I don't know.
I know
know
the
the
Tubes.
Unfamiliar.
The Tubes
I
are-
might be familiar,
they
but
have a couple. They have a couple hits.
Yeah.
I know songs that you probably heard.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think you could. That's borderline. Borderline.
Yeah, but where's Steve Perry?
All right, fine. Journey's out. But then I also found Bad Company, which had
Wow, that's a good.
two members from Free. I've been hearing Free come up in my Spotify a little more.
Okay.
And then King Crimson, which I have a soft spot for.
Yeah.
They have somebody from King Crimson.
What about Chickenfoot?
I don't know. Chicken.
You never heard Chicken Foot?
No.
Sammy Hagar
Oh,
from Van Halen.
what?
Joe Satriani,
I know that name, but
Deep Purple.
Oh,
Mick
shit.
Jagger. Michael Anthony from Van Halen.
What?
And you should know this one. Chad Smith,
No.
Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Holy cow!
Big
That is a
numbers.
super group.
Yeah,
That
that's
is a
a good
super
one.
group.
Yeah, Chickenfoot should be. I got to check out some of Chickenfoot because that should be really good.
Yeah, I'm opening a tab for that.
Yeah. So then that got me to think, what other, I don't know how much longer we're going to go on this, but what other genres? Basketball,
Yeah.
1992, Olympics, Dream Team.
The Dream.
The Dream Team.
You got Magic Johnson, Michael Jordan, Larry Bird, probably three of the greatest of all time.
Yeah.
David Robinson, Pat Ewing,
Ooh,
Karl
Pat
Malone.
Pat Ewing, was he a Cleveland Cavalier?
I don't think so.
Okay.
No. Charles Barkley, John Stockton,
Charles.
Scottie Pippen, Chris Latner, Clyde Drexler, and Chris Mullen. I'm not sure who the Christian.
Drexler, yeah.
Yeah, Clyde Drexler's familiar, but Chris Mullen, not sure if they were. They're probably pretty good. Maybe they didn't even see the floor. I don't know. with that lineup in front of them.
Yeah, he was on the Nets.
There's a lot of good documentaries on them. Like just Netflix
Yeah.
Netflix stuff about the Dream Team. It's a good time. I mean, there's things that you wouldn't even know.
Yeah. What about in the movies? The Expendables. I feel like that's a super group.
Ooh.
That's a good one.
The
Lord of the
A-Team?
Rings.
Lord of the Rings in a way. Is that pre or post superstardom?
I think the only person who was really famous at that time, Orlando Bloom and Elijah Wood
Well, I don't know.
and Sean Astin. They were
So,
all famous.
If I went through, I would say Sean Astin,
Yeah, he was famous.
Ian McKellen.
Was he famous though?
I think so. Wasn't he
Britain.
already doing
And X-Men?
X-Men? Yeah.
When was the first X-Men?
And then who's the guy who played Elrond? I'm dropping
Hugo Weaving.
Hugo Weaving.
Yeah.
He was in The Matrix.
Okay.
He was
I'll give you
Agent
that.
Smith.
I'll give you that.
It's
I'll give
the
you that.
smell.
1999. Lord of the Rings, the first one was 2000.
Which is great.
They were made at the same time.
They were like started filming in 99, I think, or 98.
So he had just come out with The Matrix. So they were just banking on him
Yeah.
on that movie probably.
They
being
wanted
big.
David Bowie.
For Elrond?
Yeah.
Oh, that
That would have been pretty sweet.
But they wouldn't have gotten a lot of mileage out of him. I don't
Yeah.
think. Like Hugo Weaving has been in every Lord of the Rings movie.
Yeah.
I'd be surprised if he didn't make an appearance in the new Amazon
We'll
show.
see. We'll see.
But anyway, I give you the Expendables. I can't think of another film that did that recently. I thought they did, but not
I'm sure there's some. If you look back on them, like it was people in their infancy, or not infancy, but their starting of their career.
Outsiders.
Yes,
You remember The
Yeah,
Outsiders?
exactly. Outsiders.
You remember The Outsiders?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Tom Cruise is that snaggletooth kind of look.
Yeah, if they made that now, it's like, yeah, we got Tom Cruise, Patrick Swayze, we got Ralph Macchio, you know.
Got one.
Yeah.
The Oceans movies.
Oh my god.
That's a good
like
one.
that. That's a good one.
Avengers. I mean, Marvel.
Anything
Yeah.
by Tarantino.
Yeah.
That's
Anything.
Supergroups get together for Tarantino, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Tropic Thunder.
Tropic Thunder.
I'm trying to pick non-Marvel stuff. Oh, and then most of Wes Anderson movies are pretty hard up on the lineup. So I like supergroup ensemble movies. That's sweet.
Yeah.
Any Fast and Furious, all the
Oh,
top
there you
stars.
go. Fast and Furious. Anybody
Yeah.
I mean,
of
like, I
Latino
was kind of
descent.
kidding, but it's true.
Yeah. Well, after a
After
point,
the
yeah.
fact, yeah, because nobody remembers. Pick three characters out of the first one. You know,
Jumanji, the new
Tyrese
Jumanji.
Gibson.
They got Jack Black, The Rock,
Kevin Hart.
Kevin Hart. Bam. Just like Tropic Thunder, basically.
Yeah, Jillian. No, not Jillian. I can never remember her name. Nebula, the girl plays.
Not familiar.
Karen Gillan. Didn't have to look it up. Hands.
Hey, look at
check.
that. He's quick on the draw. But yeah, I think we deeply dove.
That was a great. I could have just.
Yeah.
Well, we'll go maybe do a rewind. Listen to the Wilburys.
Yeah.
DJ,
Oh.
spin some Wilburys after.
a little bit of Wilbur. Dude, I forgot about this one movie. Let me throw this in.
Oh,
here.
hell yeah.
Glenn Gary, Glenn Ross.
Oh yeah.
Did you guys ever see that movie? It's
Supergroup.
obsession.
Ed
Never seen
Harris,
anything.
Alec Baldwin.
Yeah, dude.
There's a lot. Who else is
Tons of actors. Here, let me.
Because they just keep going through.
Let me not botch this. So you have Al
There you
Pacino,
go.
Jack Lemmon,
Jack.
Alec Baldwin, Ed Harris, Kevin Spacey.
Whoa.
I mean, loaded cast. Anyway, that's my derail for the day.
Oh, that's cool. No, we're running out of titles and ideas for this one, but I know you're probably running out of grandmas, or maybe you ran out of grandmas a long time ago. It hurts. That special love that only a grandma can give, all gone. Maybe you're one of the lucky ones who still has all the grandmas. Well, screw you. Okay. I mean, well, lucky for you. We're seriously so happy for you. But if you wouldn't mind sharing your grandma with those who are less fortunate and have run out of grandmas, please consider having your grandma send in an application to Grandmas for People in Pajamas. We are always looking for new grandmas, because a lot of our employees are dying, and fairly frequently. Not because of working conditions, just they get old. And anywho, so here at Grandmas for People in Pajamas, grandmas will come early in the morning, make breakfast, pinch your cheeks, lick their thumb, and wipe the schmutz right off your face. Grandmas at Grandmas for People in Pajamas do it all. Use code VCPOD70 for a 70-day free grandma from Grandmas for People in Pajamas if they last long enough. And grandmas, don't forget to apply and please refer any friends if they haven't already fully retired. So to come work at Grandmas for People in Pajamas. This is not an actual product, service, or idea, just in case you thought it was. It's not. If there is something out there with the same name, we are unaware and have no affiliation and offer no judgment on actual product, service, or idea. Here we are. I feel like that was kind of like a nostalgia moment,
It was, yeah.
but I'm gonna hit you with the real nostalgia, the hard-hitting nostalgia, the kick you in the teeth nostalgia, punch you in the titty nostalgia. This could be probably an exclusive Jean-Claude Van Damme subject. But nostalgia, tournament fighting martial arts movies.
What?
I guess martial arts in general, but
Say tournament fighting specifically.
I was going to say, we might want to open it up a little bit.
we will. But those are the ones I really remember, especially the Jean-Claude Van Damme ones. But yeah, those tournament style. But yeah, all martial arts movies. Like I feel like those are a thing of the past. I don't feel like there's anything within the last 10 years, maybe.
They're all regulated to like the direct to video stuff, which is
That's-
kind of a shame. Like you miss it without that big theatrical experience.
Yeah.
I watched Black Phone this week, and the end, this isn't really a spoiler, but like the end has this huge like crowd pleasing moment where like the audience is cheering because like the good guy is winning and everyone's just like, yeah, woo. And like, I feel like that's missing a lot. I feel like even the Marvel movies, a lot of the endings, they're so telegraphed. They're so just like down the pipe. Like, you know, the good guy's going to win, blah, 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 blah. And I just feel like those old tournament movies kind of had that whole like, yeah, man, yeah. Like it might be corny or cheesy. That's just what happened, but it was like still engaging. And I feel like that is definitely missing right now.
He might not win.
Yeah. Well, because in the a lot of the kickboxer movies and like the tournaments and stuff, like there wasn't really a good guy. Like there's just like a guy we spent more time with.
Yeah.
You know? So he was kind of an anti-hero a lot, you know?
The anti-hero, the vigilante in a way. Where it's like a Batman of sorts, or he's not necessarily good. Like he's rough around the edges, but, you know, you follow him around, so he's your guy. Like, so the Jean-Claude Van Damme ones, you got Bloodsport, you got Lionheart, you got The Quest, you got Kickboxer. Those are basically all the same movie. Watch Bloodsport. But yeah, I can't remember how many times, you know, flipping on it. I don't know if it was HBO or Stars or whatever. Just, you know, Bloodsport's. Gotta watch it. Oh, Lionheart's on. Gotta watch it. You know, The Quest. Gotta watch it. Kickbox. Gotta watch it.
There goes my weekend. It's a tournament. Oh, it's a tournament of movies. Yeah. Mom, not coming for dinner tomorrow.
Yeah. But it probably all started, I think, with Enter the Dragon with Bruce Lee or Big Boss. One of those, you know, he had, I think, 3 or 4 of those, you know, tournament style or fighting movies where, you know, got to fight for your life or, you know, fight for something. You know, Enter the Dragon's probably.
To be freed from prison.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Come to our opium island or work with us or we'll kill you.
It's probably. Do you think it has anything to do with like the cultural appropriation of like the Asian culture that like people have just kind of like it's not a good look anymore or whatever, or people just they don't like. I don't know. Like some of these UFC movies, like Never Back Down and stuff, they did okay like in the early 2000s because like people obviously were getting more and more into combat sports.
Yeah, but
also because it's just badass to like. The hero actually beats the bad guy, like beats him down. This ain't your mama. This ain't your dad's like Karate Kid. Like this is like.
That's the thing is now everything's shifted from, you know, karate, kung fu to, you know, more jujitsu, MMA, you know, tumbling and stuff where, you know, karate, you know, is striking and stuff.
Yeah.
But, you know, jujitsu and stuff. Yeah. Pressure points. Grapples.
Got it.
So I feel like it doesn't make as much sense.
Sure.
Like
it's not cinematic.
Yeah.
2 guys wrestling around on the ground isn't very cinematic.
Which is sad because I mean, think about it, dude. Everyone likes to turn to Bruce Lee, but I mean, I would argue Jackie Chan. Well, I mean, dude, who's treated like a god where he is from, and then it's like you have think of countless movies. You could name 100 off the top of your head, and all of those are based around him doing martial arts.
Yeah,
and it's. I think what Bruce Lee did, where everything was about being controlled and it was a little more spiritual and more focused. But then you had Jackie Chan, who really took it upon himself to integrate martial arts in every movie he did and make it fun in some regard. I mean, think about it. One of his earliest films, Drunken Master.
Right. Yeah.
It's literally it's comedy right at the gate, but he's like integrating this fighting thing, and it's sad that that's gone away. You know, you lost this total style because I don't know, maybe lost out to superhero movies and the more fantastic. But can you imagine,
or he's just old.
He is old. He's like almost 70.
I think Rumble in the Bronx was probably one of my first movies of his. I was like, Jesus, this guy's awesome.
Nobody wanted to take up the mantle. There's like,
that bar was so Jet high. Li kind of came in after.
Yeah. Jet Li's a little younger, right?
Little bit, not
but see, they're like the same time, and like you said, Jet Li kind of took a lot more of the serious parts.
Yeah,
and Jackie Chan took the comedy family stuff, which made him bigger. But I think they tried with that Rain guy. They did like Ninja Assassin and a few other things, and I don't think it like stuck. But a lot of that was like CGI. I think that's the problem. Like the studios are saying, let's do it for cheaper and use visual. Let's use CGI for some of the fight scenes, like, you know, if they're going to whip around a chain, we'll CGI it. Where Jackie Chan did everything practically.
And he did the stunts.
So I think it added a lot more realism to it. There's like that scene in Rush Hour where he jumps on the chandelier.
Oh,
he
yeah.
actually did that, and it's 3 stories up and he's like
Yeah.
no wire. You're like,
Yeah.
wait, like if I was a producer, I'd be like, get me off this movie because I do not want to be liable for Jackie Chan.
Everyone
Like,
thinks Tom Cruise is cool because he flies airplanes.
yeah.
Jackie Chan's the one who's like, I don't need a cable. I'm jumping out that airplane. Let's go.
But I feel you, man. I miss having something regularly to look forward to of the comedy because like you go watch that through and like just the way that he uses a bench. I remember the fight scene, and I know it's a silly movie, but Around the World in 80 Days where he's just like fighting these dudes with swords with a bench.
Yeah.
And you're just like,
That's the thing.
what
He
the
had-
heck? is
He
going
integrated
on?
props and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a chair or a ladder or like taking
Anything.
someone's shirt off and like,
The
wrapping
ladder,
it.
that ladder fight where he's jumping through it and around it, and it's just,
There was a guy in the aughts, Tony Jaa. I don't know if you're
oh
yeah.
yeah, Ong Bak or
yeah,
whatever.
Ong Bak, the
Yeah.
Protector.
Yeah, he did 3
Ong
of
Bak
those.
2.
Yeah, he did 3, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
But
he
yeah,
was doing it.
He did some good stuff. And he had his like comic relief character. So I think that kind of, but he was more serious like Jet Li,
Yeah.
like his character. Whereas Jackie Chan, he was serious, but he did funny stuff.
Yeah.
And I feel like Tony Jaa kind of bridged that gap between like a Jet Li and
The problem with Tony Jaa, 2 things. One, and you never know what the personal stuff is behind all this stuff. Jackie Chan worked because they always paired him with an American guy.
yeah.
And those were the movies that worked. Rush Hour, Shanghai Nights, Shanghai Noon. Like all of it worked when they just had a buddy cop thing to go with him. And he shined because like he was the more noble one. He was like the better one. Like
Yeah.
it always worked when he was in a pair. So it was really hard to like take Tony. Either they didn't try to pair him with somebody like because they couldn't find someone or they couldn't two-hander, they couldn't do a 2-hander, or he didn't want to do it. And
Yeah.
he just wanted, I'm the star. And it's just like, And I don't remember his
Yeah.
English ever being very good in any of his
Yeah.
movies.
How about
Oh, he was just in Monster Hunter with
was
Kate Beckinsale, yeah, he was just in Monster Hunter. He had like the second role. Mia Jovovich. It was Mia Jovovich.
how about
That movie's
this
actually
super group right here? 2 of the greatest entertainers of all time. Jackie Chan
George Harrison.
and no, he's dead.
Elvis Presley.
Yeah.
Yes. Jackie Chan, Jackie Chan, Shaquille O'Neal. I've thought of this for a long time, and I thought if those
We're
two are
deleting
in a
this
movie,
out of our podcast. No, go ahead.
but I feel like if
Wow.
those 2 are in a movie, those are 2 of the greatest entertainers of all time. I feel like those 2 together could make magic.
What would the it doesn't
That would be
even matter what
astonishingly good.
Yeah.
doesn't even matter what the movie is.
Yeah, just like go play.
That'd be like
We'll put a camera on you guys.
that'd be like the superstar version of Robin Big.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would just want a whole
Yeah.
TV series
Yeah.
dedicated to Shaquille O'Neal and Jackie Chan.
Oh man, maybe we'll just
What?
do that.
Yeah.
I wonder when's the last time Shaq has been in anything longer than a general insurance commercial?
Yeah, that's true. He did with Shaq versus. That was pretty funny. Like he's just so charismatic.
I just think he's tired though. He's tired from moving that bulk around. But dude, that would be
He was in Shazam.
That was in the 90s.
different Shazam. The other Shazam. Hey man, I
Or
don't know.
Kazam, sorry.
If you could
Yeah. Whichever
watch
one.
it. If you could make that fly, holy cow, that'd be nuts.
I mean, I met him once, so I might have.
Yeah, you
I
did.
might have an in.
Just call him.
It's like,
Dude, really quick, wanted to point out if we're talking tournaments, we gotta talk about Mortal Kombat.
that's what I wanted to bring up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got you.
Yeah.
Okay, so we did a drunk marathon where like when it came out on HBO Max, the new one, we were just like, we gotta watch the old ones and then we'll watch the new one. And I remember just sitting there and just be like, the light is glancing off Christopher Lambert's head. Like I'm in a basement. I'm like, this is too much work.
Yeah.
Those old ones were rough.
Little hokey.
Iconic, but rough.
yeah.
And I thought the new one was cool for the action.
I didn't see the new one.
So all I'm saying is like, I think the tournament model still works. I think it was cool. It just, they had to really work it in because it's a universe. And so they were trying to build it all in.
Yeah.
So that's tough. But I think so there's something to be said about a tournament type movie where it's like you see somebody climbing through the ranks and you have all these different characters and
Yeah.
Remember we made the thumb wrestling tournament movie?
Right. That was based on all of that stuff. That's where it all stemmed from.
We should put that in the link in our show notes.
Yeah.
But it's just like you introducing all these different characters. Thinking about how much that just was so fun to do.
What Magnum Pollux?
They did it. Balls of Fury, they did it.
Balls of
with
Fury.
Beer Fest, they did it.
Yeah.
So
all the Kung Fu Pandas.
all the Kung Fu Pandas.
Yeah. Shaolin Soccer.
Shaolin Soccer.
Yeah.
Was that a tournament?
Yeah, it was
go.
kind of some sort of, playing different teams.
I don't know. I think you could still make money out of it. Maybe not as massive, but I think you could still, if you found the right dynamic of budget and promotion, you might be able to get something out of it.
Well, so Karate Kid back in the 80s,
true.
that was iconic around that time too of, a lot of martial arts stuff.
Yeah.
But even now, I know I recommended on an episode, check out Cobra Kai series, and I feel like they are doing it now.
Here's the only problem with fighting tournaments, right? It's great because you bring people in and they become iconic characters, and then maybe those people go on to become iconic actors or whatever. But you need people who are qualified fighters, and that's the hardest thing. Is I feel like a lot of actors right now don't want to do that work.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to call anybody out, but they really. The only thing that you can do is go grab stunt people who want to be actors. That's the best way to move people over. But vice versa.
Yeah.
Unless you're like Tom Cruise or you're really paying people, but even then, it's hard to find like people with real fighting spirit.
That's beyond choreography. That's like,
you got to have the eye of the tiger.
Yeah.
You got to have the real jawbone of like being like, I'm into this. Like I'm gonna take a shot if I have to.
Yeah, and that's why I think that's why Cobra Kai works is because a lot of the actors they're all training. Like if they're not on set and not like doing lines, they're doing the choreography. They're at karate training or whatever.
That's amazing.
I listen to a lot of interviews with them, and they're like, yeah, I want to There's one scene where my character got kicked into like this glass trophy case. I was like, let me do it so you guys can get a shot of my face while it's happening. Yeah. And they're like, no, we can't take that liability. Like he's like, no, this is the last shot of the season. Yeah, let me do it. Like if I get hurt, it doesn't matter.
Whatever. We'll see you next season without an arm. Yeah. So that's amazing.
Yeah. So it's a lot of them are putting in the work, like you said.
That's cool.
So that's why I think Cobra Kai is working.
Yeah.
Because
people sense it.
Yeah. And you can even see like the newer characters that come on, like they're a little like, oh, that's kind of rough. But then as the season goes on, like, oh, they're getting better. They've been yeah.
I'm gonna have to watch this now. I'm fascinated by that stuff.
It is so good.
Finding fighters though, that's the hard part, man. Yeah. Finding people who can like act convincing, because I think it's always comes down to you got to be willing to take a hit. Michael B. Jordan and Creed, like when Stallone said you're the guy, I'm sure they had the talk of like. You're so gonna get pounded. Like you're probably gonna body shots are real. Like you're gonna get hit every once in a while by accident. Yeah. Like, and I just think he just was all in on it.
Yeah. I don't know how you guys felt about Creed.
Oh, they were sweet.
I thought they were great. Yeah.
Like on par with the OG stuff.
Real. Yeah. For real. And one last one. Ip Man. I don't know if you guys have seen those.
I've not, but even my brother likes
1, 2, 3,
those.
and 4.
And if my brother likes a movie or a series or whatever, I'm like, I gotta watch this. Like it's so rare.
One is the best one too. Yeah, they kind of they're all good, but one is definitely the one to watch.
Donnie Yen, right?
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah, he's gonna be in the new John Wick.
I bet. I'm sure
he's gonna be like I heard he's gonna be like John Wick's ally.
Oh, I was gonna say him versus Keanu would be nuts.
That was what I heard a few months ago. I don't know.
Maybe it's like a greeting fight. Like they're like their secret handshake is just like a bunch of like.
Yeah, but that would be sweet.
But those two back to back might be even cooler. Just dismantling an army of thugs. That might be sick. Man, I'm looking forward to that now.
Thanks, guys, for going on that journey.
Oh, that was great. Cockpit. I meant kick punch. Kick punch.
Don't be a hero, mate. You look after your mates and your mates always look after you. Yeah, cheers.
Definitely not a hero after that one. I don't even know what that word was.
We had an okay send off and then kick punch.
Yeah. That's where we throw all the lame people in the cockpit. All right. We are getting into our segment of Aussie news. We do this at the end of every show. We check in with our friends down under and make sure we know what's going on in the giant island nation of Australia. So this time around, there was a bit Nippily swim down there. Just in case you guys didn't know, they're in opposites of us in the seasons. So we're in the middle of summer, they're in the middle of their winter. And there was a nude swimmers rally in Hobart to celebrate the passing of the longest night and the end of dark mofo.
Oh, I should click on this link then, huh?
Def, click on it. So this is just like a solstice swim. It's offering renewal and resurrection to those willing to strip off outdoors during Tasmanian winter. This is just people being like, yeah, man, it's good for your soul. Why are you holding that camera? Just want to make sure we capture your soul in case it leaves.
Capturing the moment.
Yeah, so they just really just like do this dude swim and representation of like the changing of the seasons and everyone, it's head down, bums up kind of thing. You got to get in, take a dunk, get the hell out of there. You're gonna.
Did you say face down, ass up? That's like we like to swim.
Yeah, exactly. There's a lot of people. You can see a lot of photos here. There's a lot. It's cute. They like actually after everyone like took pictures with their people that they swam with, like in towels. So it's like tasteful. Everyone just having a good time. Swimming around.
Nice.
Sun's down, buns down.
Buns out. So it's like taking like a cold shower. Are you supposed to do that? Like that's supposed to wake you up. Like if you do it in the morning for like 30 seconds or a minute, like that's supposed to like shock your system.
Yeah, I think. I have a cousin who, in the wintertime, like he built a sauna right by the river that runs through his house, or through his house. That would be sweet if you just had like a drawbridge in the middle of your house and just whatever. But anyway,
Shaquille O'Neal, Jackie Chan, drawbridge house with the
amazing house. Got to get out. It's a trap. The river that runs by his house, so he's got the sauna right down there by the river. So he jumps in there's like a little like 6-foot waterfall. He goes underneath that. Been. Yeah. Oh, you've been there. Yeah, so you've seen it. So he goes under there and then just like runs out, goes in the sauna. And apparently like it actually like
major shrinkage.
That shrinkage though provides for like almost some like euphoria, like full blooded, almost like transcendence.
Yeah.
Like it's like people are just, their body's so crazy that it just sends you to another place. So that's pretty sweet.
Yeah. Even if you do it in the shower, you crank it on, you're just like,
yeah. I need to do that more. Yeah. James Bond actually does that in all the books. Like he does that. He always starts with a hot shower, then goes to the cold shower before he gets out.
Yeah.
Because he's like,
it's because all those Bond girls he's hanging out with.
Yeah. Gosh. I keep it in check.
Those diamond cutters.
Yeah,
would you do this? Would you ever do this? Would you ever do like a nude?
Yeah, if I got to see you naked, I'm sure. No.
Yes, let's do it together. Let's sign up together.
Right now.
Right now.
Only if I could do it in Australia. I think
where people are cool
that would
about
be
it.
What, they got shorks? We're talking shorks?
They might nip my nipples up.
Y'all the most risky middle-aged people I've ever met.
Don't they do that in Cleveland?
I'm sure they do.
The polar plunge.
That's what they do.
Yeah.
But that's not naked though.
Oh, well, we got to make it.
We got to start that out.
That would be funny if you showed up for the polar
All
plunge.
Right.
Just pull off the Speedo. Everyone's like, whoa, what are you doing? I'm like, oh, is this not a nude swim?
I heard they do it in Australia like this, so I thought you guys were hip.
You just got to put your accent on and tell them you're from Australia.
Oi, mate.
All right.
We do a little backwards down there.
Little skinny in the lake.
Little butterfly. The frog swimming. And just like, you're like, well, anyway, you just run off into the water.
Who's going to grab you?
You can't stop me. Oh, we will be here waiting for you to get out.
I'll still be naked.
Yeah.
That just goes to show you in life, when you want to do something, you got to just strip down to brass tacks and just get your hands dirty, because your hands are about to get bloody. When you get into the combat, you're fighting your way from the bottom to the top, or the top to the bottom, depending on if you're starting at ground level and the boss is in the basement. Either way, the big boss is there with what's his name? Big tall guy, basketball player, not Akeem Olajuwon. Anywho,
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
that's the guy that was in the in the Bruce Lee movies is what we were talking about, because that is a super group amalgamation of two greats from their different respective places playing together in that moment in time. And, they get to make magic. And that's just what magical people do. Say the Wilburys, lefties left us, and that's okay, because we're here in our own spirits, in our own ways, and maybe someday I'll write about it, and it'll be of the hagiography style. And if you come back a couple times, maybe they'll make a saint out of you, because this is the only chance you got. So to be the best, you got to pass the test. I think, who said that? Someone great. So be great. Here we are, into the recommendation station. I did tease what this was a little earlier. We have a recommend station. We like to offer you guys something out of our lives that we recommend. A book, movie, music, lifestyle. I'm going to give you a documentary of sorts. It's the Traveling Wilburys, the true history of the Traveling Wilburys documentary.
Oh.
Yeah.
Very nice.
So after I found the album, I was like, let me look them up on YouTube real quick. Documentary? It's 24 minutes and some change. 25 minutes of time with search, minus the ads.
Including search.
We'll give you that link. So it's some of the stuff I explained, but get a little more detail of how they all got together, and they kind of go through them recording the songs and just the shenanigans that they did, and
hell yeah,
in their spirit of going through the song. And then I think Jeff Lynne was like playing the drums in like on the fridge and stuff, and like just making, because ELO has a lot of like cool sounds and stuff, like that's where that like stems from. And he was like making beats on stuff in the fridge and stuff, or just around the kitchen, and like they're like nothing's off limits.
That's crazy.
So
love that.
You get to feel the atmosphere. And like I said, I didn't know who the Wilburys were before I really listened to everything, but I knew each one of them. And watching it, I actually had a tear, like a tear coming down the face. Like, this is beautiful.
Wow,
like
that's amazing.
I didn't think I was like, it felt like they just like welcomed me into their space, and that's like it was like home video recording style.
Wow,
and it was just. It gave me the little Wilburys goosebumps.
The Wilburys. This sounds like one of the best moments of music, and I can't believe I haven't heard about it before. So I am definitely going to delve into this.
I felt lost.
Yeah.
But now I'm found.
Felt lost, but now I'm found. A couple things, like it would be funny if Christopher Walken had walked in and was just like, "Can I get a little more fridge, please? I need more fridge, baby. Fridge."
Bruce Dickens.
Yeah.
I got a fever, and the only prescription is more of that freezer.
There it is. I cannot believe that you forgot to be the best. We got to pass the test. Tenacious D, my man.
I know. I knew what it was.
Oh, well, you said I forgot who that was.
I knew who it was, but I was thinking of the other one, to be the best, with the guy from the Karate Kid.
Best.
That's the one.
The song.
That one. That's the one I was trying to think of.
Can't remember who that is. You can correct me on the next episode. But anyway, I just want to thank our audience out there for joining us for the 64th episode of the Velocity Chaos podcast. And I want to thank our very, very wet DJ Slip and Slide.
Hey, thanks for having me out today, you guys. It was a great time.
Way to keep it moist, my man. No, but it has been a pleasure hanging out with you all. Make sure you guys hit us up on Instagram, all the social medias. Find us on YouTube. We do a lot of content there as well, and it will be great to interact with you in whatever way you choose. We also have an email, velocitychaospodcast@gmail.com. You can hit us up there, and we'd be happy to hear from you in that regard. That's it for me. This is Nick signing off.
And this is Luke signing off. It was Joe Esposito that did You're the Best Around, FYI. But thank you guys all so much for being here. Thank you to these two fellas here by my side. I'm by their side. We're keeping on rolling on this Velocity Chaos rocket ship. So, I just want to thank you guys so much. And like we always say, when you're out there and you need your super group, call Velocity Chaos. We're super. And we're going to fight your martial arts combat. No, we're not. Good luck. We'll be there, though. Have a good one. Thank you for tuning in to the Velocity Chaos Podcast. We upload new episodes every Monday and Thursday. Be sure to subscribe and rate us on iTunes, Spotify, or your podcast platform of choice. Interact with us on Instagram at Velocity Chaos Pod or on Facebook and YouTube at Velocity Chaos Podcast. We are grateful for your time and hope you enjoyed it here. Please tell a friend, and thank you once again.